This age of social media, there are so many resources available to uncover some of the most stunning red carpet gowns. So I really wanted to do a compilation of some of my favorite Met Gala looks this season and research the making of these garments, and also, trying to guess maybe the construction and just what the inspiration was behind them and what the fabrication was, and so on. If you are new here, my name is Henny and this is Studio Henny's. So first we have Mona Patel. She is a philanthropist and entrepreneur. A lot of people were guessing who is that woman? They had no idea. She was wearing a custom-made Iris Van Herpen gown, and the dress featured a beautiful mermaid silhouette, eyelines reminiscent of butterfly wings. But most importantly, she was wearing this kinetic arm piece, highlighting moving butterfly wings. The dress was made in collaboration with Casey Curran, who is an artist whose work is focused on kinetic sculptures and environments. He creates this beautiful, jaw-dropping, mind-blowing art. So from the videos that I've seen, it seemed like there was a string attached to these wings on the arms, and the string was also connected to this piece at the back that perhaps provided the mechanism for the movement. The embroidery on the dress was done by Marcel Embroideries. This company is located in Mumbai, India. The business is over 42 years old, and they serve over 200 brands for their embroidery needs, and actually a lot of looks at the Met Gala were embroidered by this company. So on this dress they also integrated traditional Indian embroidery called Zardosi, otherwise known gold embroidery, along with all the laser cut forms that made up the dress. Actually, one video on Instagram that I saw, you could actually see the process behind it. It needed a lot of logic, because there were a lot of intersecting pieces and layered on top of each other, and so obviously all these pieces were numbered and then built on top. Videos that I've seen, it seems like there was a tulle base dress provided the silhouette for the dress, and then all these detailed formed pieces would be built on top. Fabrication was a mix of lace and organza. So here we have Elle Fanning wearing Balmain. Elle Fanning's crystal Balmain look referenced the Sleeping Beauty, particularly this scene. I also wanted to play an homage to her role in Maleficent, a Sleeping Beauty. On her Instagram she captioned, "A glass statue stands in her garden, so delicate she could break. But with help from a few friends, the birds, Cartier and Balmain, the Sleeping Beauty is dressed and forever frozen in time." I mean, yeah, she was going with the Sleeping Beauty theme, which was actually the theme for the exhibition and not for the gala, but I think we can forgive her, because I think this dress was quite stunning. And also, I mean, the frozen in time bit could sort of speak to the story from J.G. Ballard. So the dress itself is draped entirely in organza, and then it's covered in grey-blue resin to give it this glass-like effect. And then the sculptural shaped fabric was supported by two resin birds on the shoulders. And it also featured an exposed organza train behind. I could not find exact information, but looking at the dress and just looking at images that captured it close up, it looked like it probably had either tulle or mesh corset underneath, and then the organza would be draped, layered on top, and then that would be covered with the resin. As for the shoulders, I would imagine that it also had some bond structure underneath the draping and the resin, so it would actually hold weight of the birds on the shoulders. So next we have Mindy Kaling wearing a dress from Indian designer couturier Gaurav Gupta. The dress is titled The Melting Flower of Time. This dress is inspired by Gupta's signature styles. He's known for his sculptural silhouettes. These shapes emerged in his Spring-Summer 23 collection, where he explored the concept of zero. So he wanted to explore these infinite forms, where so the idea was that his pieces would not have a beginning or an end. they would just infinitely go around the body. So the textiles to achieve this are actually hand-woven textiles from organza or crepe or silk satin. He actually has these different fabrications of like a variety of fabrications for this, for these structural forms. So as for Mindy's dress, it's constructed in layers, and it starts with a form-fitting column gown crafted from hand-woven organza. It contours to the body with sheer layers and subtle silver accents following the stylized of the exaggerated sculptural form that is a separate cape with a long train. So next we have Demi, and she was wearing a sculptural dress by Harris Reed. The dress featured an exaggerated hourglass silhouette and an additional corset that extended into this three-dimensional shaped neckline. This design was further developed from the designer's latest collection, Shadow Dance, where he explored the world of Victorian and 19th century shadow puppets. Harris Reed is known for his sculptural silhouettes and also his sustainable approach to his designs and creations. So the main fabric for this piece was actually upcycled wallpaper from Mental Design. This company is known for their hand-painted, hand-embroidered wall coverings. And this specific design that was used for this dress was from their archive collection, and it was over 20 years old. And it featured over 400 hours of hand paint and hand embroidery work. So they soaked off the original paper backing and then rebacked it onto new fabric. Towards the hem of the dress, the shape of flower petals actually evolved into these 3D flower petals made out of chiffon, which gave some extra, it gave some nice movement to the dress, to this otherwise quite rigid structure. So the cinched silhouette is further enhanced by black velvet panels on the side. It is known for absorbing light, so therefore it was creating the illusion of an even slimmer silhouette. The dress itself is corseted bustier dress with heavy hip shaping that was probably achieved with some bone structure and also maybe some padding. Separate corset sits on the top and revolves around the arms and finally drops at the back with separate strap closure hidden under the structure. I actually saw a TikTok video when they were trying to take this 3D neckline off of her. It's actually a little bit funny because they took a bit of a time. They actually almost made they undressed her completely on those stairs. Yeah. But then you could actually see what the structure is. Gigi Hadid was wearing a dress by Thom Browne. The dress was fully embroidered with over 2 million microbuckle beads. It took 20 people 5,000 hours to actually complete this embroidery that featured 3D yellow roses, green vines and thorns applied throughout. The embroidery techniques and components include bullion, crystals, silk satin stitch and lovebird beads. The design featured a form-fitting column gown with extended hips and tailoring details such as the welt pocket detail on the chest and also the front shirting placket that was actually closure for the dress. So it did have a zipper on the front and then it had the designed lacing at the back. Thom Browne's is known for his tailoring and reconceptualized tailoring. So on Gigi's gown, there is a tailored jacket, shaped lower skirt suspended from the gown, from the hips, that extends into this layered, amazing trumpet shape. The jacket was made in moire, which is a textile with a wavy watered effect, mainly made from silk. I mean, obviously there are cheaper versions out there, but this dress was probably silk. And it had this beautifully considered satin, Duchess satin binding all over the dress. The jacket was built onto a tulle corset structure that followed the shape of the lower skirt. I saw some pictures, but it seemed like that this skirt was actually like laced up onto this gown, which I would imagine happened because obviously this dress was really heavy. Another nice detail that I noticed, it had accents of thumb browns, signature grosgrain, and it appeared at the back of the dress, and also as a grosgrain for a waist.